Awesome. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. My name's Sarah and I'm coming to you from New Zealand, so yes, a different accent. I'm a mum of two very cool kids, and I think I was put on this planet to be a mum. So this opportunity to be in the Dress Plus business has allowed me to be the most amazing mum and a growing mum at that. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I know your time is precious. I know for you to give me half an hour of your time, there are things that you could be doing, things that you should be doing, and things that you probably want to be doing, but you've allocated this half an hour to me and to building your business and to helping yourself grow. I really respect that. I appreciate that. So I hope you get some nuggets out of today. If you had told me 6 months ago that I would be sitting on Linda Evenden's Zoom doing a recording for her, I would have probably laughed at you. If you told me again 6 months ago that I would have gone to Vegas with my business, that I'd taken 3 of my team with me, that I would have seen Tony Robbins, Pitbull, Eric Worre, Brendan Burchard, the man who is now changing my life, I would have totally cracked up in your face. But what's incredible is I said yes to this opportunity, and all these little, well, they seemed little at the time, and these massive big milestones are now happening for me. It's really super exciting. So I guess I'm hoping to share some wisdom with you today and some positivity and some motivation and some inspiration that will help you then experience a few little bloomings that we can help you build your business along the way too. What's changed for me in the last 3 weeks since I came back from Vegas? I think the biggest thing that's changed for me is my mindset. I went to Vegas with my belief in the product. I'm just going to change the screen here. My belief in the product has always been a 12 out of 10. This product is amazing. We're so lucky to have this on our laps to help us in every single way and to love on our families and our friends. So that was never an issue for me. My belief in MLM was probably an 8 out of 10. My belief in myself fluctuated, sometimes a 4, sometimes a 10, depending on the scenario, and I'm sure we can all relate to that. So for me, going to Vegas was more about me building the belief around who I needed to be to make this business rock, and a little bit more belief in the industry and what was actually possible. So going to GoPro in Vegas has totally lifted my belief in the industry to like a 15. I didn't think it was possible to have so much energy and passion and power and excitement and just all this positivity in a massive studio of 12,000 people. It was insane. You know, I come from New Zealand. I kind of feel like we're tucked away at the bottom of the world sometimes. So for us to be let loose in America with all these people who see this massive vision more than we can see ourselves, it was just insane. And you weren't just seeing that once or twice, you were immersed in it for 2.5, 3 days. You can't help but feel that passion and that excitement. And then you look at yourself and think, why have I not been feeling this for myself already? So by going to Vegas, I've seen this amazing mental shift in myself in just the 3 weeks. It was insane. I realized that I had never, in anything I've ever done, put my hand up and said, I'm going to do this to win. I've never aimed for the top. I've aimed for a good time. I've always had a good time. I've succeeded along the way, but I've never aimed for the top. Why? I don't know. It's just something that I've never found in myself was important. I know I've got some limiting beliefs around that, and yes, I'm working on that. Going to see the professionals and the experts in Vegas certainly made me realize that there is more to me than I was actually bringing to the table. And that is a massive, not a slap in the face, like it was like, pull your hair out. Why have you not been committing to this? And then there was the belief in what I was able to do, what I was able to bring to the table. Everybody who's on the line has got these gifts. Everyone's got an ability to relate. Like everyone's got these quirky little things about them. And they're all very relatable, and they're all very personable, and they're all your individual gifts. And we have these gifts that we bring to the table, and half the time we don't even know what our gifts are. And it takes a conversation with somebody to say, oh my goodness, you're so good at communicating. Or it can be, oh my goodness, you're so warm, I'm just loving and warming up to you. It can be a gift like that that people relate to, and it helps you realize that, okay, there's more to me than just what you see in the mirror kind of thing. So I really loved the fact that I have had this almost epiphany at the age of 42 to change my life. And it's not only changing my business, it changes me as a mum, as a friend, as a partner. There are so many elements of GoPro that have helped me kind of evolve into the mum, the woman, the person that I need to be happy when I look into the mirror. So if you're considering going to Vegas and to GoPro next year in December, put it in your diary. If you're considering going to GoPro in Australia next year, put it in your diary. In fact, that's one of the big nuggets that I got from Jordan Adler. He is the author of this amazing book, Beach Money. If you haven't got it, read it, seen it, you can download it on Audible. Read it. It's an amazing read. It's really easy read. It's all about why we hear this residual income. And Jordan Adler said that if you want something to happen, you've got to write it down. You've got to put it on a piece of paper, put it in your diary and put it on your calendar for 2018. So the dates are out, the dates are set. If you want to go to GoPro, the event is incredible, and there are 2 events coming up, one in Australia and one in Las Vegas next year. Sign up, put your name, put the event in your calendar, and just watch the universe align. Like, everything just happens for you when you put it on a piece of paper. It just gets real. It's not real while it's in your head. It just floats around with, oh my goodness, what am I cooking for tea tonight? And I've got to clean the toilet. You know what I mean? If you put it on a piece of paper, it gets real and things will happen. Jordan Adler also said, you have to do it. You just have to do it until you get it. And I know that starting out in this business, sometimes there are some things that happen and you think, I'm not really sure why I'm doing this, or I'm not getting the result that I'm wanting from doing this action. I think it's really important that you just keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, and one message follows the next message. Follow the system. It's really easy to get distracted and waylaid and think about the outcome before you're actually just realizing the lesson and doing each step. I'm seeing some blank faces here. I hope I'm kind of making sense. Okay, cool. I've got some giggles. That's cool. So these are the little nuggets that I learned about coming home from Vegas. And then I had an epiphany on the plane at 42. I was coming home 13 hours on an aeroplane from LA, hit Auckland, and I thought to myself, I've just been playing small. Now, my upline NMD is Ant Gole, really lucky, and he's told me for a long time, and in trainings, we're always told, are you playing small? Ask yourself that question. But it's not until you're in a room like this massive convention centre with 12,000 other people who are all lifting the ceiling, having the most amazing time, that you actually realise that you have been playing small. And if you don't change the way you play, the way you commit, the way you focus on not just your day-to-day, but your weekly goals and your monthly goals, you're going to continue to play small. So coming home on the aeroplane, I didn't have, it wasn't my goal to have lots of sleep and things like that. I had so many things rolling around in my head. I got a piece of paper out and I wrote out a job description. And I have re-employed myself. So my old job is I was an accountant and I worked 9 till 3. I had really nice hours where I could pick up my kids and, there was a bit of flexibility. But what I didn't have was that no stress environment, and I brought a lot of that stress home. So I wasn't just working the 9 to 3. I wasn't able to go to all those Christmas parties and all those Christmas functions and the award ceremonies with my children. So what I've done when I came home from Vegas is I've re-employed myself into my Juice Plus business, and I have the same commitment that I used to have in my old accounting job. So now I get up, and instead of getting up at say 8, because I didn't have that pressure to get my nails, my hair done, blow wave my hair, put some makeup on, put the heels on and that kind of thing. I was just slopping around in my pajamas if I felt like it. Once or twice in winter, I even took my kids to school in the pajamas because I just felt like I could. Well, it didn't serve me at all. It didn't serve my day. I started my day with a ho-hum attitude, and that's the way it went. Coming home from Vegas, I'm now getting up at 6 or 6:30. I go and walk the dog. I've had my shower before my kids even get out of bed. I've done most of the jobs and chores that I need to do to run my house before I even drop my kids to school at 8:30. I'm starting my day with a purpose, and my whole day flows with this awesome purpose. Then I'm really, really lucky that I employ myself from home from 9 till 3. I give myself a break. I'm like literally taking a morning tea break. And if I haven't hung out the washing or done the dishes, I leave it until I've got that break. I'm having my lunch from 12 to 12:30. I'm being really structured with my day. And then I feel like I've achieved so much more with my business, and I'm back to having that structure. If you employ yourself and you commit yourself to doing those really simple tasks of just giving yourself a structured time, you're so much more productive with your time. You achieve so much more, and your business just starts to climb. So I realized pretty quickly that I was treating this like a hobby, and I was only getting the hobby results. Then when I started to do this full time and I had team to look after, I realized that I had to set an example. The old saying, monkey see, monkey do. I realized that if I don't do the posts early in the morning, then my team aren't going to do the posts, and then they're not going to see the results, and our whole business isn't going to grow like I want it to grow. New Zealand is pretty new in the Juice Plus company, so it's important to me that I set a good example so that my team can set an example, and then their team members can, and we have that beautiful roll-on effect that we're looking for here. I'm no longer distracted by floors, dirty dishes, unmade beds. I literally just shut the door. So if I can give you a tip, it's to keep the main thing the main thing. Brendan Burchard, if you haven't heard of Brendan Burchard, Buchard, look him up. You can find his podcast. He's on YouTube. He's an incredible mentor, motivational speaker. He changed his life around after a car accident when he was 19 years old, and asks himself, did I live a life? Did I matter? And there are two amazing questions that I hope that when it's my turn, I can answer those questions. Did I live a life? Hell yeah, I did. Did I matter? Absolutely, I mattered. I help people change their lives. I help people change so many other things as well. So Brendan Burchard, he's got a couple of really cool books out. One is The Success 25. The other one is The Charge Life. The Charge Life has really hit me. And the other one is High Performance Habits, which is his latest release. I think it was last year. So he talks about keeping the main thing the main thing. So easy to get distracted when we're in the scroll hole with our little notifications and our pop-ups, and we lose focus on what we even came to do that whole day. You can waste a whole day and you haven't kept the main thing the main thing. If you do that once, it becomes a habit. And he's all about these amazing habits that the most successful people, the performance habits of the highly successful people, and what makes them successful is the habits that they continuously do. Those 6 habits that he talks about in his book is, number 1, seek clarity. It helps you stay on track. So if you're not clear about what brought you here, your why, you need to really refine that. And if I can encourage you all to get a diary and a calendar and work out your why before the end of this year, don't wait for a New Year's resolution, hook into it now. You've still got, what's the date today, 13th, so you've got like 18 days up your sleeve where you can get a head start on the new year. Take action, and take that action now, and you will literally start to see changes before the new year, and you'll have a head start on everyone else. Tick. So his number 1 is to seek clarity. Number 2 is to generate energy. I saw one of his live videos, it's about 6 minutes long the other day, and it's called Be the Joy. And I showed it to my 13-year-old daughter, and she sat there and thought, Mum, that's really cool. I really love that. There's a lot of pressure on people this time of year, financial pressure. There's a time pressure. Everyone's trying to get everything done before the 25th or before they go on holiday. So there's a lot of things going on, and we can often feel like it's a big, heavy cloud. If you're going into each day, each new social environment, if you're going into a new room and you think, oh, well, the tone's already going to be set by these people, you can rack it up. You can be the joy. So he talks about generate energy. And I love that concept. We can literally switch it just like that and be the joy for a whole room. And I love to think that I can bring that to a whole group of people who are feeling flat because of the Christmas pressure. We have the right, we have the choice to be able to just do that. So he says bring the joy and generate energy. The power plant doesn't have energy, does it? it creates it. So you can be a power plant and you can choose to bring the joy. His third of his 6 habits was to raise necessity. Now you think, this was my mindset before I went to GoPro. I'll do it just because I'll do it when I get around to it, kind of thing. It wasn't a necessity to build this business. But if I had to have this business feed my children, it would become an absolute necessity. So if you can raise that necessity, you'll start performing with excellence in mind. And again, that's that excellent mindset. It's that lifting it to win and keep thinking that you can win this game every day. Keeping the main thing. The main thing will help you increase your productivity, which is his step number 4. Your high-paying activities, they produce the results. So if you keep those your main thing every day, you were talking about your posts, you're reaching out, your follow-ups, you're being consistent. We all know what our HPAs are. If we keep those at forefront of our mind, we have an opportunity there to just watch our business grow. His 5th point was to develop influence. Now, this is going to sound really weird, but 18 months ago, this couple of lovely ladies came to my little town here in the North Island in New Zealand called Fielding. We call it Friendly Fielding. And it wasn't a very big event, but there were 2 ladies that came. One was Celine Egan and one was Linda Evenden. And both these ladies came to my little town to do a little event. There was only about 20-25 people there, and Linda actually brought her daughter, and she was doing her event, and it's just like an event like we normally run, and I went to it as a newbie before I'd even signed up to do this business. I thought, wow, this lady's got an amazing job. She gets to travel around the country with her children, and she had this energy, this positivity, this amazing aura about her, and I thought, I wonder if I could do what she's doing. Look at today. Here I am sitting on her Zoom, certainly got butterflies in my tummy and sweaty palms, but it's amazing the FOMO that I think that Linda and Celine created this kind of influential zone, and I wanted to go down this path, and here I am following that path. So if you can develop a bit of influence, it creates people to grow. You could challenge them to grow and teach them how to think. And Anthony Robbins says if you want to, successful people copy what other people do, not only what they say, but what they do, what their posture is. You've got to emulate their physiology and everything like that. You learn from that person, and you therefore get to teach other people how you think, and they teach your hero or your mentor teaches you how to think. So you learn as you grow, which is what this business is all about. The 6th point in Brendan Burchard's 6 habits of the most successful people is to demonstrate courage. So you've got to learn to speak up for yourself. And I think this is a hard point. This is where a lot of women fall short. You learn to speak up for yourself. And a lot of the time it's speak up for yourself when you look in the mirror, back yourself. Like almost pat yourself on the back every day and give yourself a hug. Share your truth, share your story, because what got you into this is going to get other people wanting to join you. I mean, this is why I'm here, because I looked at Linda, and Linda's story, it related to me, and I thought, oh yeah, well, I could do something like that, and here we are. Share your ambitions. Other people will, especially mums, they'll resonate to what you want out of your life, because we all have a similar want, a need, a desire to contribute, to be challenged, to grow, to help others. So if you share your ambitions, other people will want to join you on your journey and your crusade. And the other thing he said was to speak up for other people and be proud to do that, like back someone up. And I think this is something that I'm really learning to do in regards to building a team. Like I've got 25 in my team here in New Zealand, and I love that I back them up. I stand up for them. I love the fact that I'm able to do that. It's really, really cool. So another thing that I got out of conference, I think nearly every one of those $1 million speakers who took to the stage, they all talked about contribution, about being able to contribute to society, to other people's lives, to people who are less fortunate than us. I'm trying to think of who actually said somebody said to Pitbull, money doesn't buy you happiness. And he replied with, yes, it does. You've just got to learn to give it away. I just want that to sit for a minute. I wrote that down and I just boom. It was a boom moment for me. I wrote it down and thought, he's totally right. Money can buy you happiness and your car and your diamond and your pair of shoes and Christmas presents and things like that, but it only lasts this long. It's when you're actually able to contribute and give it away that it makes the biggest impact. And this beautiful business that we're in is helping us to do exactly that. And another golden nugget that I got from Pitbull is he said, your worst enemy is yourself. So when you're in your head, and you're attached to the outcome, when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're attached to the outcome, it's because you're not thinking about the other person, you're thinking just about you. When you take it to that next level of this is all about someone else, this is all about someone's health, someone's wealth, this is about you building your team, this is all about other people, your game totally lifts to a new level. And I've seen that in the last 3 weeks since I came back from Vegas. I always knew the potential in this business and I knew the potential in myself. I just didn't know how to bring it out. And going to Vegas and me learning the skills through Brendan Burchard and being able to go to Vegas with 3 of my team here from New Zealand, it's just enabled me to bring out who I need to be, and I'm learning the who I need to be to bring the best out of my team, and we're just having this beautiful roll-on effect, hence this amazing growth in our customers and our team in the 3 weeks since we came back. So yeah, Mel, super, lots of claps, lots of happiness. A couple of other little nuggets that I wanted to share with you from GoPro. This book is now my Bible. You can see all my little tabs and bits and pieces. I ran out of pages in the notes and I took another little book which I also got some amazing notes and bits and pieces in. Eric Worre. If you haven't got a copy of GoPro, or if your mentor hasn't told you to download GoPro, you need to get a copy. It's the Bible for a reason. This man, 25 years ago, started out in network marketing when it was frowned upon, and he's totally twisted it around. It's a profession now, and I'm so proud to be part of this profession. I'll put my hand up and say I'm a network marketer. I totally believe in MLM now. Going to GoPro, seeing all the entrepreneurs on stage, seeing the resolve that Eric Worre holds for this industry is just insane. So please, I really do encourage you, if you haven't got GoPro, but you've got Audible, the app on your phone, feel free to find me on Facebook or Messenger, and I can send you a free copy of GoPro. It really does help you change the way you approach this business. He wore the most amazing yellow pants one day, and I took photos of these yellow pants and thought, wow, that's unique. But this whole industry is all about being unique. This is us being who we are and bringing it to our business. It's all about us bringing our own personality, our quirks. Me with my lopsided smile, I'm embracing that now. I used to hide behind that. Going over to Vegas, here's another epiphany. Going over to Vegas on the plane, I was watching a movie, Gerard Butler. I didn't realise it, but he's got a lopsided smile. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging with the crew. We've all got these quirky things that we need to bring to the table to help us embrace who we are, what we're doing, and why we're doing it. There was another lady there called Whitney Husband, and she was from Texas. And she was amazing, y'all. She came on stage, and the energy that she had was hilarious. She owned it. Again, $1 million earner, a single mum, and her whole speech or her whole presentation was about how to do a live. She's built her own business, $1 million business around doing lives, which is incredible. And I wrote all these nuggets down from her. Don't hide behind it. And there's other tips and bits and pieces. And she just embraced the quirkiness of her accent, her look, her style. She just embraced everything about her and made herself really attractive. And I thought, well, if she can do that, then I can do that with my lopsided smile. So I'm getting there. I promise you, I'm getting there. So just before I wrap up, I think the highlight for me, I went to Vegas trying to find a mentor, trying to find somebody that I could follow and relate to that was going to help me with the direction of my life, help me become who I needed to be. And I found that in Brendan Burchard. I went with the view that Tony Robbins was going to be, and has been probably for the last 10 years, this amazing mentor and guru for me. I still listen to Tony Robbins, but sometimes I have to listen to him 3 or 4 times to actually get the message. He's got so much intensity, and just his vibe is just insane. But I got VIP tickets to Tony Robbins. I won those through our crew, and I literally could have put my arms out like this and touched Tony Robbins. It was the most incredible experience. I could have cried. He talked about changing your state. Now, I'm sure you'll imagine that when you're about to go on Linda Evenden Zoom, you're a little bit nervous and you've got sweaty palms and bits and pieces, and that could have totally consumed me. Probably a month ago, that would have consumed me. I probably would have paced the floor and talked myself out of it. But Tony Robbins talked about changing your state and how important that is. The last couple of weeks, I've managed to implement the skills that I learned through Tony Robbins, and I've changed my state in a couple of situations where I've been really nervous or really stressed. And he talks about you've got to get physical to change your state. So I have literally been dancing around my room, shouting the words yes, shouting the positivity. I've been raising my arms up. I've been dancing to lift up get the blood sugars going and just feed the positivity in my brain. It's the neurological association that you've got, that you hold to an event. So I think going forward, looking at me now, I start my job at 9. I start my Juice Plus job at 9. I've done all the other things being a mum first. I literally come in here, I plug in my computer, and I'm doing star jumps while it's going. While I'm loading up my computer, I've got my 30-day grid right in front of me. I've got my little office ready, set to go. I am so focused at the moment, and I know it's going to continue because I've sent all of my frontline diaries and calendars for Christmas. They've all got them. They're writing their stuff up already. We are starting the new year with a hiss and a roar. We know where we're going. We know what we want to achieve. We've sought out that clarity. We know what the next year of 2018 is going to bring for us. And the universe is already starting to align for us. So, your energy pills, thank you. I guess what I've learned is if you want to take control of your life and help this make your life, you're the one who's in control. And you can hide behind the screen, you can hide behind the mirror, and we can hide behind our fears. But if you're going to take this to the next level, you've got to aim to win. You've got to embrace the challenge. You've got to honor the challenge, because you're going to have ups and downs. It's the yin with the yang. There's the good with the bad. It's just the balance of life. But if you put it out there to the universe and you put it out there with these positive vibes, everything that you want this business to be will come to you. But you've got to believe it from here and from here. So if you're lacking in any area with your self-belief, with your belief in the industry, or with your belief in the product, you've got to get that crystal clear and do it before the end of this year. And 2018 will be all yours. Thank you guys so much for sharing with me. I've gone a little bit over time, but that's okay. I'm going to stop recording.